If you have diabetes or prediabetes, you've probably been told to watch your fruit intake. Maybe you've even been told to avoid fruit altogether because of the sugar. And I get it. When you're trying to manage your blood sugar, the idea of eating something sweet, even if it's natural, can feel risky. But here's the truth that a lot of people don't know. Not all fruit is created equal, and some fruits can actually help lower your glucose levels and improve your A1C over time. I'm Dr. Sarah Wilson, and today I'm going to walk you through 4 specific fruits that are backed by science to support blood sugar control. I'm going to explain exactly how they work, how to eat them, what to pair them with, and the mistakes you need to avoid. This isn't about cutting fruit out of your life. This is about being smart, strategic, and informed so you can enjoy the foods you love while still taking care of your health. Let me start by saying this. I've seen patients transform their numbers just by making small, consistent changes to the fruits they eat and how they eat them. We're not talking about complicated meal plans or expensive supplements. We're talking about real food, prepared simply, eaten mindfully, and the results can be remarkable. So let's dive into the 4 best fruits for diabetes, ranked from great to absolute best. Number 4 is berries. And when I say berries, I mean blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These are some of the most nutrient-dense, blood sugar-friendly foods you can eat. Here's why they work. Berries are loaded with fiber, vitamin C, and potassium, but the real magic is in compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give berries their deep colors, and research shows they can boost insulin sensitivity by up to 22%. That means your body becomes better at using the insulin it has, which helps bring your blood sugar down. Berries also have a low glycemic index, usually between 25 and 40. For context, white bread is around 75. So berries don't spike your blood sugar the way other sweet foods do. They're anti-inflammatory, they protect your cardiovascular system, and they're easy to work into your daily routine. Here's how to eat them right. Fresh is best. If fresh isn't available or affordable, frozen works just as well. Sometimes even better because they're frozen at peak ripeness. Do not juice them. When you juice berries, you strip out the fiber, and fiber is what slows down sugar absorption. Pair your berries with something that has protein or healthy fat. Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, chia seeds. This combination keeps your blood sugar even more stable. Let me give you a simple recipe. Take half a cup of mixed berries, add them to plain Greek yogurt, sprinkle in a tablespoon of chia seeds and a few crushed walnuts. That's a perfect snack or breakfast that won't spike your glucose and will keep you full for hours. Now, the mistakes people make with berries. First, they buy those berry smoothies or acai bowls that are loaded with added sugar and syrups. Second, they pair berries with sweetened yogurt that has more sugar than a candy bar. And third, they eat massive portions thinking that because it's healthy, more is better. Even healthy food has limits. Stick to about half a cup to 1 cup of berries at a time. More than that, and you might run into digestive issues like bloating or loose stools because of all the fiber. Let me tell you about Sandra. She's 58, came to me with a fasting glucose that was creeping into the 130s. We started her on a simple routine. Every morning, half a cup of blueberries mixed with plain Greek yogurt and a handful of slivered almonds. Within 3 weeks, her fasting glucose dropped into the 1-teens. Small change, big impact. Number 3 is avocado. Now, I know some people don't think of avocado as a fruit, but botanically it is. And it's one of the best things you can eat if you're managing blood sugar. Here's what makes avocado so special. A medium avocado has about 17 grams of carbohydrates, but 13 of those grams are fiber. That means the net impact on your blood sugar is almost nothing. The glycemic index of avocado is essentially 0. On top of that, avocados are packed with healthy monounsaturated fats, about 29 grams per avocado. These fats improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and help with satiety, meaning you stay full longer and you're less likely to reach for something that will spike your sugar. Studies also show that people who eat avocados regularly have better lipid profiles, lower bad cholesterol, higher good cholesterol. How to eat it. Half an avocado with your meals is a great starting point. Slice it on top of eggs for breakfast, add it to salads, mash it on a piece of sprouted grain toast. The key is to eat it fresh and whole. Avoid store-bought guacamole unless you're checking the ingredients carefully, because a lot of them have added sugars, low-quality oils, and preservatives that undo the benefits. Let me tell you about Richard. He's 63, his A1C was 7.8, and he was frustrated because he felt like he was doing everything right, but his numbers weren't moving. We added half an avocado to his lunch and dinner every day. That was it. No other changes. 8 weeks later, his A1C was 6.9. He couldn't believe it. He said he also felt more satisfied after meals and stopped craving sweets in the afternoon. The mistake people make with avocado is portion control. Yes, it's healthy, but it's also calorie-dense. If you're eating 2 or 3 avocados a day, you might gain weight, which can work against your blood sugar goals. Stick to half to 1 avocado per day, and you'll get all the benefits without overdoing it. If you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. I share science-backed, practical health tips like this regularly, and I'd love to have you here learning with us. Number 2 is apples. And before you say, wait, apples are too sweet, hear me out. Apples, especially certain varieties, are incredibly beneficial for blood sugar when you eat them the right way. The magic in apples is in the skin. The skin contains polyphenols, particularly a compound called quercetin, which has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. Apples also have soluble fiber called pectin, which slows digestion and prevents rapid glucose spikes. A medium apple has about 25 grams of carbohydrates and about 4 grams of fiber. The glycemic index ranges from 30 to 44, depending on the variety. Granny Smith apples, which are tart and lower in sugar, are the best choice for people with diabetes. Here's how to eat apples right. Always eat the skin. That's where most of the beneficial compounds are. Pair your apple with a source of protein or fat. Apple slices with almond butter and a sprinkle of cinnamon is a perfect snack. The protein and fat slow down the absorption of the natural sugars, and the cinnamon has its own blood sugar lowering properties. What not to do? Don't drink apple juice. Even the so-called natural, no sugar added versions are concentrated sugar without the fiber. Don't eat apple pie or baked goods with apples unless you're making them yourself with no added sugar and whole grain flour. And don't eat huge apples. Those giant ones at the grocery store can have as many carbs as a soda. Stick to medium-sized apples, about the size of your fist. I had a patient named Helen, 67 years old, who loved apples but had stopped eating them because her doctor told her fruit was bad for her blood sugar. We brought apples back into her diet, 1 Granny Smith apple a day with a tablespoon of peanut butter as an afternoon snack. Her post-meal glucose readings improved, and she was thrilled to have something sweet back in her life that didn't make her feel guilty. And number 1, the absolute best fruit for blood sugar control is pears. Pears are underrated, and I think it's because people don't realize just how powerful they are. A medium pear has about 27 grams of carbohydrates and 5.5 grams of fiber. The glycemic index is around 38, which is low to moderate. But what really sets pears apart are the flavonoids and phenolic compounds in the skin and flesh that improve insulin sensitivity and support gut health. Gut health is more important for blood sugar than most people realize. Your gut bacteria play a huge role in how your body processes sugar and responds to insulin. The fiber in pears feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which in turn helps regulate your blood sugar. Pears also slow down carbohydrate digestion. When you eat a pear with a meal or as a snack, the fiber forms a gel-like substance in your stomach that slows the release of glucose into your bloodstream. This means fewer spikes and more stable energy throughout the day. How to eat pears. Fresh is best. Eat them with the skin on. Pair them with a handful of walnuts or a small piece of cheese for a balanced snack. You can also bake them. Slice a pear in half, sprinkle it with cinnamon, and bake it until it's soft. No added sugar needed. Avoid canned pears packed in syrup. Avoid dried pears unless they're unsweetened, and even then, be careful because the sugars are concentrated. And don't overdo it. One medium pear at a time is plenty. Let me tell you about Gloria. She's 61. Her fasting glucose was in the 140s, and she was starting to feel defeated. We added one fresh pear with a small handful of walnuts as her mid-morning snack. Within a month, her fasting glucose was consistently in the 120s. She said she felt more energized, less bloated, and her digestion improved too. Now let me give you the overarching strategy for eating fruit when you have diabetes, because it's not just about which fruits you choose. It's about how you eat them. First, always pair fruit with protein or healthy fat. This is non-negotiable. The protein and fat slow the absorption of the natural sugars and keep your blood sugar stable. Greek yogurt, nuts, seeds, nut butter, cheese, eggs. These are your go-to pairings. Second, avoid processed forms. No juice, no dried fruit unless it's unsweetened and portioned carefully. No canned fruit and syrup. No fruit pies or pastries. Whole, fresh fruit is the goal. Third, monitor your individual response. Everybody's body is different. What works for one person might not work exactly the same for another. Start with one serving of fruit per day. Test your blood sugar 1 to 2 hours after eating it, and see how your body responds. If your numbers look good, you can gradually add more variety. Fourth, consider organic when possible, especially for apples and berries. These are on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, which means they tend to have higher pesticide residues. If organic isn't accessible or affordable, just wash your fruit thoroughly. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And fifth, be consistent. One apple a week isn't going to do much. But an apple or a pear or a serving of berries every day, paired smartly, eaten mindfully, that adds up over time. You'll see it in your fasting glucose, your post-meal numbers, and eventually your A1C. Let me give you some simple preparation ideas you can start using today. For berries, make a yogurt bowl with half a cup of mixed berries, plain Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a handful of crushed walnuts. For avocado, mash half an avocado on a slice of sprouted grain toast. Top it with a poached egg and a sprinkle of sea salt and black pepper. For apples, slice one medium Granny Smith apple, spread a tablespoon of almond butter on the slices, and dust them with cinnamon. For pears, cut a fresh pear into wedges, pair it with a small handful of walnuts, and if you want a little extra flavor, drizzle a tiny bit of raw honey on top. Just a teaspoon, not more. These are not complicated. These are not expensive. These are simple whole food strategies that work. The core message I want you to take away from this is that fruit is not the enemy. The right fruits, eaten the right way, can be powerful allies in managing your blood sugar. Small, consistent choices add up to meaningful improvements over time. You don't have to eliminate the foods you love. You just have to be smarter about how you choose them, prepare them, and pair them. Start with one fruit. Track your response. See how you feel. Then expand to the others. Build a routine that works for your life, your taste, and your goals. And remember, this is about progress, not perfection. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below and let me know which fruit you're going to try first. Tell me where you're watching from, share your experiences, and please hit that like button and share this video with anyone who might benefit. Friends, family, anyone over 60 or managing blood sugar. We're building a community here of people who want to take control of their health with practical, evidence-based steps. Consistent, mindful portions and whole food forms will always beat rigid elimination. You deserve to enjoy your food and feel good in your body. It's possible, and it starts with choices like these. I'm Dr. Sarah Wilson. See you in the next video.